Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Henny Nice podcast. As always, I'm your host, your brother Jay White. First things first, I appreciate every single person that has subscribed to the podcast, that has shared the podcast, that has shared a link, a clip, a social media post when it comes to the show. Um, it really, really means a lot. And I'm saying all of this because this is year six, man. Big six around this bitch. And yeah, it really, really means a lot. So if you could continue to share the podcast from whatever platform you're listening to this on, whether it be Spotify or Apple or SoundCloud, wherever you listen to your podcast to, continue to share the show, rate the show, um, subscribe, and help with the exposure of the podcast. I really, really do appreciate it. Next, of course, Henny Nights merch. Make sure you clink. Make sure you click the Linktree link in the show notes for the podcast. It'll take you to the merch store. That's where you can get all your Henny Nights merch, whether you need a new tee or a hoodie or a crew neck. Cop all of the merch related to the podcast there. So make sure y'all check that out as well. So I know it's been a couple weeks. Um, it's been a I want to say it's been a hectic 3 weeks, but a lot has been going on. So as I stated earlier, year six of the Henny Nights podcast. I didn't think I'd be doing this for 6 years and be 100 and I think like it's over 130 episodes in or whatnot, but um I cannot state enough how much the support for the podcast has meant to me over the past 6 years and continues to mean for me. I did not anticipate doing a podcast for 6 years, but here we are continuing to do it, and I can honestly say I'm still really, really passionate about doing the podcast. So from the bottom of my heart to all of the guests who come on the podcast, who shoot the shit with me, who continue to chop it up with me, man. I appreciate y'all, and I just genuinely appreciate y'all support. Uh, because there are a bunch of podcasts out here. Um, you know, and y'all lock in with me for whatever reason. So again, I really, really do appreciate that. Um, Now, also, want to get this out the way as well. As I stated on the last episode, I have started a new gig, and I'm a couple weeks in now, and I announced it. That I was starting this new gig, and it's an opportunity to work on a lot of great things here in the city. Um, and so, and it puts me in a lot of spaces where I otherwise wouldn't have been in these spaces. And so for everybody that like congratulated me on social media when I posted it, for everybody that congratulated me and just had a lot of dope words for me, I really, really appreciate it. It was a bunch of y'all. And so I want y'all to take this as like the official like thank you. Cause it was a lot of y'all, but it meant a lot. And one of the components of what I'm doing is like because I'm in these spaces with um access to certain information and knowledge, and I know from the house and building my own damn tables. Why not do both? So I really, really do look forward to the opportunities this is going to present. And yeah, if I, like I said on social media, if I hit your line about something where I think you'd be a good fit, it's for a good reason. So, but with stepping into this new part of my professional career, it's brought out a lot of emotions, and not in a negative way, but like really, really in a positive way. Um, and it made me also realize that like a nigga has been through a lot the last 3 years. I've openly talked about that on the podcast, from personal to career. And so to be at this point now, after, continuing to persevere and continuing to push forward, even when I'm like, bro, like when is shit gonna shake even for me? Um, it's still super surreal. And like my therapist, shout out to therapy. But my therapist was like, yeah, you've had a lot of situations where, he compared it to like a launching pad where I thought I was ready to take off and then something happens and it delays the flight. And because delays happen, you get discouraged, right? And so when something good, this is like pretty much the like root of like trauma and shit like that. But like when bad shit happens, yeah, you may think you have gotten over something, but truth be told, like you haven't really gotten over it. You just kind of like slapped the band-aid on it, just kept it pushing, try to push it to the back of your mind, when in reality, like you really still haven't dealt with the shit. And I've had a lot of shit that I hadn't dealt with, especially professionally, because, you know, keeping it a buck, dealing with white folks and they bullshit and microaggressions and, you know, fake tears and fake concern or whatever. The whole idea of like camaraderie and shit. Like, people, companies try to push that for real, when they really don't really give a fuck about it. You just a number to them and stuff. So, having come from two situations where like I thought like, yeah, this was it, to it not being it, and now being in a situation where I'm with like-minded people and people that look like me, you you come in there being a bit of a like pessimist a little bit. Like you waiting for the other shoe to drop and you can't really fully embrace what the fuck it is that you accomplished. Like you accomplished something, you are in a new position where not only are you like really in your field and stuff, doing stuff that you're passionate about, you making more bread, which is always a bonus, and people seem to be really genuine. And it's just like that when you get out of a fucked up relationship too. Like people put walls up and shit because, I done been through some shit. I ain't trying to get, burnt again or whatever. So you put up a wall to protect yourself and shit. And it's hard to bring that down. And that can like apply to like any aspect of in life in general. And so I was having a hard time not um I was having a hard time like accepting like, yo, like I deserve this. And I had never encountered that shit before. But and also being like, damn, y'all sure y'all want my skill set? Like, I know in the interview I pitched it one way, but are you sure you want my specific skill set and what it is that I bring and what it is that makes me me? And like not being sure about that, not being confident about that. That shit was weird as hell. Um, Again, imposter syndrome and stuff like that. And so, it came to a point where was like, you know what? Like the shit that has happened to me the last 3 years, like I'm not saying I need to forget and act like it never happened, but like I gotta be able to move past that shit. And so acknowledging that it happened and being like, but look where we at now. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling the pressure of trying to be like perfect. Because, let's say you want to be the model employee, you want to do this, you want to do that, but like all what professionalism boils down to is like the ability to use your resources that are around you to get the shit that you need to get done, essentially. You know, carry your weight. No one is expecting you to be the smartest person in the room, and that's something I always adopted. I know I'm not the smartest person in any room or whatever. I thrive in situations where I can learn from different people. Hell, that's why I've done a fucking podcast for 6 years, because different perspectives, different paths allow me to learn more about subjects and matters that I didn't know about beforehand. And so, not being perfect and accepting the fact that, like, you've asked the universe and you prayed and you meditated for all of these things, and you pray for the ability to handle all those things and the space to carry all of that, and your knowledge and wisdom in order to do what you need to do to carry that out or whatever. And then when you finally get it, it's like, holy shit. So I'm at that point, but I do feel now that, like, it's go time. It's go time for a lot of shit. A lot of stuff that I've had planned that has to be put on the back burner. It's full throttle right now. And so I share that to say that, like, for anybody that may be going through a similar situation, it sounds cliche, but like, your time is coming. Was the saying, faith without works is dead. You have to continue to pound the pavement and do your part in order to not only obtain what it is that you're seeking, but maintain that shit as well. And so, that's someone who is kind of coming out the other side with it and trying to figure out, you know, how to juggle these new experiences and these new feelings and things of that sort. I say all that to say, man, it's only up from here. It's only up for here, and this shit is gonna turn around and shake out the way it needs to shake out. I'm truly a believer in that shit. So, for anybody dealing with imposter syndrome, I'm like not sure what the hell is going on and why you're in the position you're in, whether it be good or like working towards something, it's gonna shake out. It is a reason why you're gravitating towards that and moving forward towards that. And hurdles and things, you encounter those to get over them, and it's to prepare you for the next step. So yeah, that's kind of where I was, kind of where I'm at with everything. And so it has been a good, what, I think that was 3 weeks ago. It's been a lit 3 weeks for sure. And it's also just kind of reaffirmed for me that, like, yeah, I shouldn't accept nothing less. Like, I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to, grind for something I want. And I know the type of person and what I bring to any situation, any relationship, friendship, whatever. And so, you know, while I can't expect me from anybody else, a nigga got boundaries. A nigga got certain shit that he just won't tolerate. Whether that be in a professional space or romantically or whatever. There's just certain shit I'm just not gonna fucking deal with. Like, that shit, when you let go of past shit, that shit is dead. And that shit needs to remain there. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, you know, you ain't gotta necessarily, you don't have to necessarily, like I said, I can't expect me from anybody else, but like, yeah, we got standards around this bitch. It's strict around this bitch. And so, yeah, I'm not putting up with anything fucking less, dog. On any level. You feel me? So, but yeah, it has been an interesting journey for me so far. But, We in year 6, man. Year 6 of the podcast. From starting off joking about my virginity to talking about religion to having I guess a sex expert on here to all type of shit, man. We had all type of stuff, and I am always down and open to having new people on the podcast and new perspectives. So the next couple of guests that I'm trying to get to come on the show. Yeah, man. Um, look out. It's gonna be a good ass time for sure. So as always, when I'm riding solo dolo, last time I was on, I had I did an AMA, ask me anything with questions that people asked me, and I did a decent amount of those questions, but I didn't do all of them. Say some just in case, I had to come out here and ride solo again. So um, let me open up this damn app and see what's in here. We still got some shit in here. Let's see. Let's click on this one. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right. So, if you had to replace one major holiday with a purge, which one gets swapped out? That's easy. Columbus Day. You niggas, you niggas want to pillage and shit. Yeah, let's run the fair one. Let's run the fair one. And white folks are having a rough start to the week anyway because the shit and Alabama motherfuckers out here getting smacked with chairs and shit. And you'll be lying if you, as a black person, didn't watch that shit and like become inspired. Cause them motherfucking white folks got the brakes beat off of them. And it was a situation where we got to see us stick together. Motherfuckers came with the beef straight off the boat, fresh off the boat, and ran up on them motherfuckers in 1-2 piece. But the chair was hitting the motherfucker with the chair was the chef's kiss, man. That is something I've always that is something I always wanted to fucking do on some wrestling shit was take a fucking chair and smack the fuck out of somebody. Um, a lot of fights didn't present themselves or the opportunity to do that shit. That was a dream of mine to just crack a motherfucker across the skull with a steel chair like that ass. So, um, let's see. What's the next question? What's this? Waiting for it to open. What the fuck? Have you ever had an intimate relationship with someone uh, uh, via the internet? And I mean, niggas had like, hey, niggas had Black Planet crushes. Like, I know one website, the whole fucking foundation of the website was like rating motherfuckers' pictures, and like if you got rated high enough, like you would be on like the cup, like the front page of the website. Like some like Black Mirror type shit. You got enough, it's on a scale of like 1 to 10, and like you get a pretty decent score based off the picture or profile picture you posted. You was on like the front page, and like motherfuckers was sliding your DMs. But I mean, motherfuckers had like, internet, crushes and shit like that. I fucking had uh I fucking had a crush on this motherfucker, this chick from Milwaukee. Oh my god, she was so fucking bad. But and I ran up the fucking phone bill because we were talking long distance too. But yeah, she was bad. So like Milwaukee is one of them cities that like got them ones, like got some baddies, and I seen it. I didn't seen it. So that's probably the closest to ever like that type of shit or whatever. All right, next question. What do you think of Sexy Red? I like Sexy Red. Now music, I mean, it's not for me. But I like Sexy Red. Sexy Red Sexy Red reminds me of one of my girlfriends I had in high school. Um and when I say one of them, I was only dating her at the time or whatever, because I'm a relationship ass nigga when it comes to that shit. But yeah, she remind Sexy Red remind me of like one of my hood girlfriends I had in high school. She stayed, she stayed over by the Riverview Circle, uh, and she did hair. Yeah, she would do hair. She would do hair out her mama crib, or she would, pull up to wherever she needed to go to and do hair or whatever and shit like that. And I met her on some like mid, or where I was staying at the time. Staying in Jennings, and me and my homie, it was summertime. We went walking around or whatever, and then you see some chicks walking down the street, and he was highly the one. He was the one to be like, hey, shorty, type shit. Catcalling and shit, and he got their attention. We walked up on them and stuff like that, and low. I started rapping with oh girl, whatever, and got her number, and like we ended up in a whole ass relationship for a while or whatever. Little hood baby, but I loved it. The different color hair and shit. Smacking on the gum and shit. Sexy Red remind me of her, bro. So that's probably why, like, I don't really had no, really had no beef or issue with her. Like I said, the music, that's a whole different thing. But that ain't for me. You gotta leave some things to the women, dog. If it gets the women to shaking their ass, and having a good time, bro, it's a win for everybody involved. So, um, yeah, I have no problem with Sexy Red. She seems like a very fun girl. Next question. What's the best drug induced high you ever had? How did you get it? Um, it was definitely um I told this story before, but it was the first time I ever had like a edible. That was the fucking highest I have ever been in my life. And the food was delicious. Eating food under the influence of an edible, bruh, is like the greatest shit ever. Now, I know, if I'm not trying to be too goddamn high, you only take a half of it or whatever. But yeah, that time where my my homeboy gave me a cookie and I got smacked and I took too much of it and came home and watched the 50 Shades of Black, or whatever the fuck the Marlon Wayne's spoof on the movie was and shit. Like, I was high as a bitch. I was high as hell, straight up. Um, and another time, like, I was super high was like when I was like maybe 19 or 20. Lupe Fiasco came and performed here in St. Louis for the what's the shit, the fair that we have here every 4th of July. I was high as a bitch then too. Straight, yeah. So Yeah, it's fun. It's fun if you want to be high. Like if you ain't trying to get that high, I can see how it turn people off though. Have you had a dating app on your phone while you were in a committed relationship? Technically, Facebook is a dating app to me, dog. Like so, technically, yeah, but um, I tried fucking like Bumble. I wasn't in a relationship though. I tried Bumble and shit. What's the other one? Um fuck. Not Bumble. I mean Bumble was one of them. It was another one. Tinder. That was, I tried that shit, but I was on there for like maybe 2 days and got the fuck off. It was yeah, it just ain't do it. It ain't do it for me. Um so technically, like I said, I consider Facebook a fucking dating app because like you can shoot your shot on that. Instagram, all that shit. It can be depending on how you use it. So let's see. What do you think counts as having sex? Nigga, fucking, 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 fucking. You fucked. Did you fuck? Yes or no? And leave it at that. I assume everybody's fucking. So tasting a little dick. Motherfucker, chicks tasting a little dick, niggas eating a little coochie. You know, it just it is what it is. What is the weirdest or funniest sex you've ever received? Um, I got. She said, "My jaw still hurt from last night. My jaw still hurt from last night because she had gone crazy." Man, I hope all these ain't just sex questions that are left. Oh, and as soon as I say that, what event opened your eyes to how fucked up our country's political system is? Um, Definitely. Um, of course, Trayvon Martin, because that happened right around the time I was 23, 23 or 24, and then of course Mike Brown because that is local to me and directly around the corner from where I where I was living, like literally 10 minutes. And just being out there for all of that in 2014, it's crazy to think that it's about to be 10 years now, which is insane to me. Um, but yeah, those situations before um, are the most recent times I can remember. Um, and then I had already experienced prejudice and profiling from the police when I was 14, 15. Experienced that before at that early age. So, um, yeah, I would say that as a full fledged adult, kind of having a little bit of knowledge around, what is supposed to happen or what they claim this country is supposed to be based on. So, before sending a sext, have you ever shown it to someone else for feedback? Fuck no. What's the point? Send that shit and you deal with the consequences or whatever come. Sometimes chicks like corny shit. Hey, the worst that can happen is they just leave you on read or send a LOL. That's the worst that can happen. It sucks though, but yeah. It is what it is. Talk about a time you shot your shot and didn't worry about the consequences. Nigga, I have shot my shot plenty of times and have gotten turned down plenty of times. But my shooting percentage is pretty decent. Like, if I want you, I'm gonna have you. Ain't that what Drewski said? If I want you, I'm gonna have you. I said, bitch, I said you bad. So, as far as like, yeah, I ain't 100% from the field, but like I would say I'm a good like. As far as like, yeah, I would say I'm a strong like probably like 70% from the field when it comes to like really locking in. Like fuck all that. I'm trying to see what's up. Like, yeah, my shooting percentage is pretty decent when it comes to that. So let's see. Next question. In what country is this? Sorry, in what way is this country fucked? How can I state the ways? Inflation, not being able to afford health insurance, uh, global warming, uh, systemic racism, prejudice, nigga, you name it. Draw two, draw four, draw four, draw four. Just stacks on stacks on stacks. Like that's just some off the top of my head. But um we all know it's fucked up here out here, and a lot of us are adopting the "I'm here for a good time, not a long time" ideology, which is crazy. But they don't really give a fuck. They are doing the most uh, crazy shit. In other words, cutting off the nose despite the face. It is insane. The laws they're trying to make, the way they're trying to govern people. We can't talk about this, can't do that, can't have access to this, can't do that. Like, but this is supposed to be the greatest shit ever. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy. What is one thing about the podcast that has surprised you so far? Um, I really do think that I started the podcast uh, at a time when I needed it the most because trying to figure life be life in it. I'm trying to figure life out, and it was dope to hear my other peers go through similar things and trying to figure life out. And when it comes to that, and so that, and then having a space to laugh and tell crazy ass stories. But I really do think it was before therapy, before I went to therapy, the podcast was super therapeutic for me. And so it has opened my eyes to that. It has made me realize that um people aren't as closed off as they appear to be, meaning they are willing to help because they want to see everybody win. Um, and you can kind of get in your own way when it comes to that of like trying to stick to your own lane and stick to your own guns and you know that type of thing. But the city, St. Louis, is in really, really, really dope spot, in a really, really collaborative spot, because we realize it's not just going to be. I think a lot of people are realizing that it's not just going to be one. It just can't be one. It has to be a bunch, and like we start to see the rewards of that shit. And so, um, yeah, that's something that I've learned and really, really think is dope. Name a drug that you would absolutely drop your friends for if they use that shit. Nigga, crack. Nigga, crack. Yeah, I can't have no crackhead friends, bro. Uh-uh. Heroin and crack. You niggas can experiment with all other shit, but once you start to do crack, bro, nah. That's where we gotta draw the line. Cause nigga, you do crack, you'll steal. And I can't be around no niggas that's stealing. Ain't never nothing you that be that damn down bad to do crack, bruh. That's insane. So yeah, I hope none of my friends want to do crack. Please, nigga, I would get you all the help that you can fucking get. But yeah, bruh, please don't. We not doing that out here. But let me see. Let me see. I want to do two more and then get the hell out of here. Let's see. I don't think I opened this one. Why is it taking so long to open? What celebrity did you have a crush on early on? Nigga, it was I think it was T-Boz. I think it was T-Boz from TLC. Is the first celebrity I can remember having a crush on, even though she was singing like Lou Rawls. Yeah, the little Bob mullet or whatever the fuck you call it. It had me in a chokehold, bro. But I loved it. I loved it. uh, yeah, it T-Boz. This is what I can remember, and I've had other celebrity crushes as I've gotten older, but yeah, T-Boz was the first during the crazy, sexy, cool album run and shit like that. Yeah, what a time. Celebrity crushes, what a time. Now it's like it's been like numero uno has probably been like Kelly Rowland the past like 10 years, bro. Like, man, she cannot miss. Like my wallpaper on my old laptop was the Kelly Rowland I think it was Vibe, where she was on the cover of it like topless, bro. Um and yeah, it's yeah, bro. It's just crazy. 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 Because like, yeah, I gravitated towards in Destiny Child, I gravitated toward it was Latoya first. Latoya, then Beyonce, then Kelly. And then like when Kelly, went solo or whatever, it was just up. It was just up from there, bruh. I swear to God. And so yeah, but T-Boz, I didn't mean to rant, but T-Boz uh was probably my first celebrity crush. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. We're gonna wrap up on the questions there. So again, man, I really, really, really do appreciate all the love and support when it comes to the podcast. Um, it has meant a lot to me to continue to do it for 6 years and actually care about the content that I'm putting out and just wanted to continue to do dope shit. Like I said a few weeks ago, I just want to continue to do dope shit with my friends, with my homies. So, and create dope shit and create dope moments and experiences and all that. So, thank you if you ever rock with me, listen to the podcast, um, and just continue to rock with me and go with that. And so, as always, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast wherever it is located. Share it, share the clips, send me a note on social media, tap in with me, whatever. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm an open book when it comes to everything, man. So again, I appreciate y'all. The support is always noticed. And until next time, I'll let y'all later. Peace.